Hi guys, it's April and I garden down in southeast Nebraska, zone 6A, formerly 5B, and hopefully this time during my garden tour, my microphone won't decide to stop working. So sorry about the abrupt ending of last week's garden tour. We should be good this time around. I've double checked the charge on everything, so we're in for a early morning but nicely cool garden tour, and this is the time of year that I really start to love. We are starting to enter spooky season, temperatures are dropping. A lot of the stuff probably needs to be pulled out, but a lot of the other stuff has a month left of thriving, and I think we're gonna get a lot of loofah this year. So let me show you. So I mentioned the loofah. You can see just from where I was standing how massive this girly has gotten. I have counted probably about 7 loofah at this point, which means that is going to be my Christmas present to everyone once they dry out. Yeah, you can't use the stairs anymore. And the other downfall that has happened because of Lucy the loofah here, there are so many wasps attracted to this plant, and they're all different kinds of wasp. I didn't realize that was going to be a thing, and I don't know if anybody else has experienced just the wasp fiasco. And they're not even going for the flowers. They're going for random parts of the stem. Right now I'm just seeing bees, but later in the day, you'll get lots of wasps. Some of the things I've read are saying that they're going for the ants that are attracted to the loofah, which I'm okay. Oh, here we go. Let me see. Others are, no explanation. I can't really find any explanation. So if you have grown loofah, ooh, it's a little bumbler. If you have grown loofah and you have experienced this phenomena of wasp galore, please let me know. I mean, I've got honeybees, I've got bumblebees. Those are I'm all okay with, and I am letting the wasp be and trying to be very delicate around this plant, but it kind of has me regretting where I have planted this beast, because walking outside my door, you have to be gentle. You have to be gentle with nature, and my dogs are not always gentle beings. So let me know if you have any experience with the loofah. But I'm gonna turn back around. Of course, we got this peach tree and the strawberries. And why did the name just like poof out of my brain? Chives. This combination is really thriving over here. We've got the cow peas that I've managed to trellis as best I could, and it's taking where it can, but these guys have gotten bushy. I haven't seen any actual cow peas yet, but we are getting blossoms. Ooh, that right there, you see it, is a baby cow pea. So that should start filling out, and I should start getting cow peas. The dogs will be happy. The corn, at this point you can't really tell which is in the amended bed and which one isn't. Though it looks like the amended is a little fuller than the unamended. Now the pots, I will admit, I've let the pots go. As you can see, I've actually, unfortunately, let a lot of the tomato plants go. So those are probably what I want to pull out fairly soon, because I'm a little bit over tomatoes right now. Let's see if I can get through here. But I will show you this beast of a ground cherry plant. How ridiculous is that? We did a big harvest the other day and had over 200 or so ground cherries, and we need to do another one. And the okra looks like bushes right now, and I love it. But since we're over here, the tomato plants, like I was saying, because of the fluctuation in temperatures, things have like really rotted on the vine because I wasn't able to get them off before they split and just went to heck. And so it's gotten to this mess that I really hate to deal with, but I really need to deal with. And I totally understand that it's my own fault, because some of the temperatures, I didn't want to be out here, and then we would get big rains and it would finally cool down. And by the time I got out here, like I said, they'd be so swollen and so split that they'd be very buggy that I didn't want to touch them. So I'm telling myself that it's okay if I pull these out early this year, because I know this going into next year, that if I don't stay on top of things, I'll probably regret it. So next year, I will hopefully go back to my earlier ways of, as soon as tomatoes are blushing, pulling them off the vine, and even if it's 100, 110 degrees outside, I should go outside and at least check the tomato plants and start pulling things if they're blushing. It also looks like I might have a hornworm in there somewhere, because that is thoroughly stripped. I'm gonna have to come in with a black light and check that out. Yep, we got some up here as well. And that is another downside to me not being nearly as on top of things as I normally am, is that kind of damage. I know we have a lot more hornworms and a lot more grasshoppers than we have in the past, and I haven't been keeping up with that. Yeah, we're seeing strip stuff all over the place. And it might be grasshoppers, because it seems so much more chaotic than hornworms. But it still might be hornworms. So I will be out here tonight with my little blue light. Here is a big change. Right here, I have pulled the tomato plants, or not the tomato plants, the potato plants, both here, and I will show you the other section. And I have taken out most of the beans. I am letting things compost in place right now to keep the ground covered. I do want to come through and harvest a good chunk of the eggplant, maybe freeze them so I can use them later, because my brain can't handle that many eggplants right now. And I also have several carrots that are blooming. I might just leave the blooming ones and see if I can start pulling some of these other ones, because I know the tops are very enjoyable for the guinea pig, and I can store the bottoms. And this is just, it's too lush. It's too lush. I just don't want to touch it. I think that's why I haven't harvested any of these yet, is because it looks so good. Yeah, see, and this is why I keep thinking it's grasshoppers. I just saw him in here, and he might have just disappeared on me. But like I said, this year the grasshoppers have really taken over, because you can see I don't know if I'm even in the right spot right now for you to see him. There you go. The grasshopper, just hanging out, munching away, making babies. So it might be grasshoppers that are eating the tops off my tomato plants. I just need to pull all the tomato plants. Because I mean, they look wild, but at the same time, they're kind of a mess. They're not doing good, even though they look like they're doing good. Here we've got the jelly melons. I have harvested a few of these. They are an interesting melon. When we tried them, I mean, they got the little jelly bits, excuse me. They have the little jelly bits, and it's got kind of a cucumber flavor, but then it's got some interesting other notes to it, not just cucumbers. I don't even know how to describe this fruit, but I think it would be good on top of salads and just fresh eating. I don't even know how else to use this. So if you've ever had jelly melons, I love ideas for how to use them. Oh gosh, okay, this over here, I will admit, is a little bit of a disaster. The grass has gotten a little too much, and I need to come through and fill the fountain, and it looks like my actual fountain has stopped, so that needs some cleaned out. Please ignore the mess. But otherwise, yep, we got more tomatoes that either need to be harvested or pulled. This is an unwalkable path right here. One of the things about this year is I've had a little bit of a learning curve on what gets water and what doesn't. I just pointed the wrong direction when I said that, but this bee balm is obviously not getting any water. But the stevia plant, she's doing good. Whereas this thyme plant is hanging on for dear life. So I'm learning the ins and outs of this new setup. So next year I'm going to be on the ball with a lot of this watering. This year it's just a learning year. And like I said, pulled the potatoes out of this bed. We probably ended up in total with about maybe 10 pounds of potatoes. All of these are like fingerling potatoes. They don't get very big. I think the biggest one we pulled up might have been 3 or 4 inches round. And then, as you can see, the pepper plants, the flowers, the marigolds, seems to have decided that it's done. But I do have some peppers in here that I need to come and harvest. These are all sweet peppers. Still nothing in what used to be the chickpea bed, and that's okay. Like I said, I'm kind of pawning this year off as a learning year. And then we have all of the spicy peppers. Spicy peppers have gone crazy, and I just I just haven't had the heart to harvest a lot of them because I've gotten enough of the spicy peppers that I need. And I want to check out something over here. See if it is what I think it is. No, that's just a dead leaf. Thought maybe it was a cocoon, but it's not. Please ignore the man behind the curtain. But while we're over here, look at this view. Each year, this is probably one of my favorite things. is Sunflower Alley. I did not plant any of these sunflowers this year. These were all self-seeded. I do think I'm gonna move Sunflower Alley to the white fence next year. And I want to make this grapevines and kiwi vines. But part of me is like, the sunflowers look just so good right here. Do I want to give that up? I'm probably gonna move it, but there is something magical about this view. Otherwise, I think we have up there that I can show you, and that'll be the garden. I'm gonna say hi to the random loofah, just hanging out. I do have sweet potatoes buried right about here. These pepper plants, this one in particular where you can see the grasshopper, is super tall. I need to check if there's peppers on it. They're kind of hiding in there. And then we have that pepper plant. We have some volunteer tomatoes just hidden in there. I know there are runner beans scattered throughout, but I haven't seen any actual bean pods forming. And then we have this mess of tomato plants, and it looks like some of the spinach is coming up through there, which is exciting because I can harvest some spinach and have a BLT with spinach. But otherwise, we've got the basil, and we've got an okra, and then this trio of peach chives and strawberries that is doing okay, but not nearly as okay as the other. One thing before I call it is I am going to have to pull the loofah out of the siding of the house. So I'm gonna do that before I go in. So that is my very chaotic garden. It's not perfect, but it's producing. So we're learning to live with each other. Me in my possibly not fullness, and it in its wildness. And we're finding a peace between the two of us. I am going to pull that out of the siding so that we don't start to have siding issues. That's the last thing I want. But I do these garden tours every week. At least I try to do them every week. So if you want to see how this garden continues to grow and change, probably until maybe early October, because that is when we have our first real killing freeze. Feel free to subscribe down below, hit the bell, do all the things to get all of the notifications. I also have an Instagram and Threads account, and I know I have slacked a little bit on both of those. Like I said, my capacity is just drastically changed in the last month or so, and I'm just starting to find my feet again. But I will be back over there to start posting for you guys. So feel free to follow me over there as well. With all that said, I'm going to go save the siding of my house, and then I'm going to post this video for you to enjoy. I do hope I will see you again in another video, and I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.